for your presentation, your beautiful green roses today. You just look gorgeous, just glowing. Thank you.
Thank you. You're gonna get me locked up, Professor Lockett. This is a poem I wrote. It's a letter to my body. And it's one of the many pieces I've written that enable people to laugh. Dear body, I owe you an apology for all the years you dealt with me, especially you, dear legs and feet. You carried pounds of cellulite. You were tired, needed rest, but I kept pushing on. At best, I stuffed you, body, pound by pound. You grew and suffered all around. My dear teeth, you got a lot of space inside this space. I know you're missing some that need to be replaced. Yet somehow you managed to come together and chew. Whether or not I've got that spare set of teeth in there for you. Stomach, I fed you stuff nobody should eat. French fries, chips, and lots of meat. I recall when you, body shape, were a figure 8 and moving great. I just fed you to the limit, eating junk, no nutrition in it. I squeezed you hips inside my clothes. How you survived, nobody knows. In my recollection, I can't complain when you cried out in all your pain. Dear body, you tried to explain that I was doing wrong and body slim would soon be gone. I'm so sorry, but I'm still glad you're mine. Bigger now, but sitting on you just fine. My dear digestive system, I don't know how I would do my do without you, but I thank you for doing your best to process the mess that I ingest. When I stop to think of all the stuff I ate, truly I appreciate you for doing your best in performing your duty and not putting up a stink about all that you do. I used to love to strike a pose on walkways in designer clothes. Dear body, you were slim, sculpture trim when I sashayed pure energy, flaunting me nonchalantly, flirtingly, while several guys' eyes wondered about my prize. Please forgive me, neck and back, for the time I threw you out of whack. I was learning sexy moves of romancing while practicing my belly dancing. My goal was to entice a man, so I stuck my neck out as best one can. While learning to gyrate in solitary confinement, I threw my whole neck out of alignment. Dear reproductive system, I would be remiss if I did not express my appreciation to you for all the bliss in creation. I marvel at the thought of gestation and every situation concerning how another entity evolved through me. And it was so nice, you know I did it twice. A son and daughter, I ought to thank you for bringing my family through these loins. At every phase of the reproductive journey, you amaze me. Dear eyes, I know you cried the blues every time I wore those funky shoes. We called them sneakers back then. I wore them every day while the soles wore thin. Precious feet, I did you wrong. Sorry toes, you kept on stepping on. As a teen, I played most every sport. I hurt you legs on the basketball court. Tore 3 ligaments, cartilage too. Knees, please forgive me for abusing you. While learning to swim at camp one year, I almost drowned in fear of just being there. On a serious note, I did learn to float after being swallowed from a boat in a lake, for goodness sake. And also in a pool at school. Dear lungs, you held on to my breath and kept me here from meeting death. I recall one day while skipping in the hall, I tripped and fell against the corner of a wall. It busted a hole in you, dear head, with a lot of bloodshed. Almost took a final breath and could have bled to death. Instead, dear head, you accepted 3 stitches after mom and dad had to rush me in an ambulance to the hospital. They could not stop you blood from flooding their sheets. I should have walked down the hall instead of skipping fast into a wall. talking back to mama who told me to slow down before I fell and broke my crown. That was a mighty close call. You were a hard head since you've been small. While everybody is trying to get ahead, I'm grateful for you instead. After all I put you through, dear head, my dear heart, you haven't missed a beat. You've been on the job pumping the heat for all I do day and night, whether I live wrong or right. You kept the system in circulation all these years without hesitation in every situation, from my head to each toe. Dear body, you know how the blood should flow. Thank you, my dear body. You've been good to me, although I caused you injury. You found a way to make my day most any time at work or play. Eyes, you shed so many tears on the day I tripped and fell upstairs. Dear hands, you really saved me when I fell and nearly broke my chin. 8 fingers, 2 thumbs on 2 hands. I'm so glad I understand how much I need you to help me do all the things I need to do. Each thumb, you are big and bold, helping me carry every load. Index finger, I suppose you're the best pointer to pick my nose. And pinky, I'm so glad you're there to help me dig inside my ear. Ring and middle finger too. There are so many things you do. Arms and elbow, my Lord knows I'd be off balance without you and my toes. My dear pituitary gland, you are a master at handling every disaster. No matter what I do, you're in full control of me as a whole, regardless of whether I sit or stand. You are fully in command of every action and reaction. I love you, face with dimples deep. You open eyes when closed, asleep. You bore a smile, kept from revealing all the sadness I was really feeling. When this mouth would start to frown, face, you turned it upside down into a smile for all to see, instead of the hurt inside of me. Cheeks, you make me glad to laugh. Happiness is like a bath of sunshine for the whole body and soul. I love to laugh out of control, whether those spare teeth are in or out. You still find a lot to laugh about. It just feels good indeed to share my joy with those in need. Dear body, I'm so glad you're mine. Bigger now, but doing fine. I'm so grateful you forgive, and I take pleasure just to live. Always yours, dear body, till death do us part. I remain Diane M. Lockett.
Amazing. Amazing. Girl, you still